Hello, my good friends. This is Chaos Angel here, also known as Lord of Omni, and I'm back at it again with another flippin' discussion video for you guys. And this time we're going to be discussing on my thoughts and opinions about the live letter and the majority of things I wasn't able to actually show you guys when it comes to the reaction I was supposed to have had for you for it, and just overall the things I'm hype about. So let's go ahead and get into this shit, shall we? Now, first things first, we start off with the trailer, which first shows us the ruby weapon that we have also been waiting to see. And good God, I swear that music was extremely bumping. And one other thing that I really wanted to point out is just how futuristic or just how technological they actually made the weapon, which makes a little bit of sense considering how they've been making prototypes of Ultima and so on and so forth. But moving along from that, they show off the Ultima weapon and just some aspects of its abilities. We also get to see freaking Gaius as well as Raban in the same rooms, and I'm just flipping them out about that shit. We then cut to a part of the gang making our way through Animesis and Niter, as well as a little bit of some stuff with the Qatari and the Gathering quest. And then we see some flippity dippity shit with the freaking laser cannons and some more stuff with the Animesis and Niter, moving along to Gaia as well as the Eden's verse, seeing some of the actual raid bosses, the light as well as dark aspected ether bosses, Ramu, and motherfucking Ifrit and Garuda, both in the same fight. I could not wrap my head around all of this shit that they showcased us here. The number of times I would see this trailer. And then, of course, the various things that we're going to be seeing in the main scenario, some of the characters that we've seen from the role quest coming in the mix. And then many other things in the mystery of things when it comes to Armorot, as we see many of the Armorotines, stuff from the past, and the factor of us going to areas like the Animesis and Niter, and this location right here that apparently has Sid accompanying us, and as well as someone who is from the Return to Ivalice quest line making a return. All of this shit is just so full of content, so full of information, that no matter how many times I run back and see this, especially freaking Xenos literally chilling, walking in Armorot itself, I'm absolutely baffled. And then the last thing we freaking see is Dalamun falling from the sky. And I just can't even fathom what the hell are we going to get ourselves into. Like, this shit is insane. It's fucking crazy. And so with that, we cut to the actual releasal of the patch, which is essentially the 18th, next week on Tuesday, as we have a couple of days for that to actually release. I am honestly I have no words on what in the world they have in store for us. All I can say is that I am full of anticipation for what this patch is going to bring in the long run, especially when it comes to the story. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of things. We first cut to the fact that Yoshi P has some certain things that he wanted to clarify, pretty much disclose on the matter of mods and third-party tools. Clarifications that I thought at this point we didn't need again, when it should be common sense at this point to know that what shouldn't be showcased when it comes to certain mods that people make for this game. Yeah, I really think that everyone should be aware that any lewd or anything that essentially violates the terms of service of the game and so on and so forth should obviously not be disclosed and shown off. I thought we were well aware of this fact, so the fact that he has to clarify this is very concerning. I mean, I haven't really been looking into it myself, but it's just that knowing that we had to talk about it is really off-putting to me, as far as I know. I don't really have too much to say on the matter. I don't really delve into that area, but besides that, another factor is the number of times that we have been told thus far that we will not be getting an official parsing tool to be made for the game. I mean, I have no qualms for this, as I never use such things. I recently got into Final Fantasy XIV on the PC, as I've been playing on the PS4 ever since I first started, and I just go back and forth between the two. And as it stands, I haven't dealt with such matters. I'm being serious here. I don't do any of that stuff, so please don't do anything to my account. I would very much appreciate it. So as far as that's concerned, I'm pretty neutral on this stance when it comes to it. Another thing we get into that had to do with third-party tools is the automatic waymark plugin. Due to this aspect, they ended up changing the feature of the waymarks where we can no longer use them during battle, which was really interesting. They can be placed beforehand, but once the battle commences, they will disappear. And ooh-wee, I gotta say, that's gonna make things pretty interesting when it comes to doing raids, making this next tier pretty scary as far as Savage goes without any waypoints to guide you through the fight, especially if they ever plan on doing another ultimate, and I think they will be at some point in this expansion, in the later parts of this expansion. It's sad to see this feature change in such a way, but in the long run, it will be open to some fantastic runs. As far as sarcasm, I will have to add a bit of sarcasm into that. Yeah, moving along. So, considering the amount of things that we've seen from the trailer, it comes to no surprise that we learn the fact that this main scenario will be quite lengthy in terms of the cutscene department. And I love that fact. I truly love that fact. I don't know where the finale is going to be going until I actually experience it. Like, that is just a great feeling to have when it comes to these trailers. It's the unknown and exactly where we're going to be going next when it comes to it. I was seriously lost and just felt so hype. I cannot even tell you how many times I've played this trailer over and over and over again before even starting to make this video. I'm especially excited for the shocking revelation that they have in store for us and what we'll learn in Enemesis and Niter, as that will be unlocking later within the story. So definitely going to take some real time going through that just to unlock my expert roulette. Indeed. Other than that, some of the other stuff they went into that fascinated me was the new Relic Quests, though in some aspects it doesn't exactly feel like a Relic Quest, if you get what I mean. Like, it seems that we have really pulled away from the sort of traditional aspect of Relic Quests in terms of like plot in the long run, to where the quest line in and of itself is just upgradable equipment or just an ultimate weapon of some kind that we'll just end up getting and building up as we go through that quest line. But for now, it's still going to be relegated as Relic Quest. So that's neither here nor there. I kind of went off of a tangent. Let's get back to what in the world we need to talk about. As far as the quest is concerned, it's been dubbed Save the Queen, Blaze of Gunhilda. And I cannot explain just how much I was baffled by this name, and I'm gonna get into why. But another thing that fascinated me was the secret trial that is included with this, that will be added along with this quest. I love the fact that they're using yet again Final Fantasy Tactics for like a reference, just referencing Final Fantasy Tactics because of just how Save the Queen is literally an ultimate weapon from that game, and it's a part of a quest line that is essentially correlating with an Alliance raid from the previous expansion. So it's just like I'm loving how they are connecting everything. I really love how this coincides with the quest line that relates to our adventure in Return to Ivalice, which this will also be written by Yasumi Matsuno. Like, this is flippin' epic in my opinion. They're really getting the Alliance raids to be more involved with other aspects of the game itself, more than ever. It's honestly refreshing, and it was definitely proved when we saw in the trailer that the female character that was featured in Return to Ivalice is going to be in the story. This is amazing, because this also means that those who are new are going to need to do that quest now. Oh, it's funny. I love it. I love it. And as far as the upgradable equipment is concerned, I really am liking the approach they're going this time around. I will say I'm pretty excited for what they have in store for us in terms of the content around said content. Not only I appreciate the fact that the base weapon will be made easier to obtain this time around in comparison to the previous relics, as they did have their faults in some way, shape, or form. So this change is much appreciated. One thing I do feel iffy about, however, is there's still some aspects of Eureka as far as it being a separate instance and another unique leveling system being placed in here. But they did make it a point in letting us know we can obtain items and materials that are required for said quest line from outside areas other than inside of the content itself. So the specific area that we will be going to. So that's good to know. But as far as that content is concerned, we will have to wait it out because we will not actually be seeing this said content until 5.35. The content that we'll be getting at the very start for 5.25 will more so just be the base weapon, and that's just about it. So all in all, in the long run, really can't wait to learn more on the land of Baja and seeing a bit more of Gabranth from this point forward. We still have a bit before we can get things going on it, but for now I'm really liking what I'm hearing so far. Now, as far as the new trial and raid, ooh buddy, do I have quite a lot to say on this shit. Where do I even start? I guess to start off, can we talk about the remix of Ultima? Like, that shit was going hard in the trailer, as well as in the gameplay video. Not only that, can we talk about how Ruby Weapon kinda looks a little bit like Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon? Like, it really does look more like Emerald Weapon in a way when you compare the models a bit. Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe they just thought of combining them in a way. You never know. All I can say, however, my fears have finally come to life. We not only saw its usual attacks that are from its original game, like the infamous Whirl Sand, but not only that, for some reason we saw Ruby Ray, as well as the tentacles, the infamous tentacles. As far as what I was witnessing, good lord, I don't know exactly how I feel about this shit. I'm actually legit scared. PTSD is literally going rapid. I am triggered. I do not know what we're going to be facing when it comes to the extreme, but good Lord, it's coming. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Moving along onto Eden's verse, I couldn't help but be baffled by the fact that we got to see the majority of the raid bosses we'll be fighting this time around. Though it's not entirely the first time this happened before. They did reveal all the bosses for Sigmascape, so yeah. Only difference here is that we didn't get to see who the final boss of this raid tier will be. Many, as well as myself, are wanting it to be Shiva, which I hope. And not just any Shiva, mind you. I want this to be the representation of Final Fantasy VIII's Guardian Force Shiva. As not only have we already gotten Quetzalcoatl in the game, it would make so much sense to implement the other GF that you get at the very beginning in the game as the last boss for this tier. It would be so fitting. I swear, please make it happen. Other than that, can we talk about these other bosses? Like, look at fucking Ramuh. Mr. Happy really did call that shit when it came to it, especially given how we learned from the previous live letter how the area that we're going to be in for this fight is literally the Thunder Plains from Final Fantasy X. Like, that shit was literally telling us straight off the bat that there was going to be some inkling of most likely Ixion being in the mix here. And they full on mixed Ramuh and Ixion, but ended up giving him extra stuff along the way. Like, do you see this, man? Ramuh is looking hella mad right now. Like, I could have sworn I was looking at fucking Sidolphus. Like, shit. All right now, God of Thunder, I see you. I see you, fucking muscles and shit. Damn. All right. Speaking of which, where the hell did our freaking hero's imagination go to when it came to Ifrit and Garuda? Like, Ifrit literally got the badass and hot treatment in ways I was not expecting. Like, look at this guy. He looked fucking crazy. And don't even get me started with Garuda. I know damn well what the Warrior of Light was imagining when it came to her. And I don't even blame him whatsoever. All I can say is I find these designs so fucking sick and interesting. And I hope that they'll tie these bosses a bit more to the story than the previous tier, as I kind of felt that they were nothing but dummies that held no purpose other than to be defeated. Just that these dummies hit back. Yeah. And lastly, as far as the original raid boss that they showed off in the trailer, I wonder what kind of fight we'll be dealing with when it comes to the light and dark expected ether like enemies that we'll be facing here. Not to mention, as this does seem like it's another two-person fight, like we're facing two entities similar to that of Ifrit and Garuda at the same time. It's very fascinating how on the direction they're going with these new bosses so far. I'm really digging it. I'm really digging it. Now that we got through the majority of the big topics out of the way, we'll go ahead and move on with my thoughts of the minor details that were shared as far as job adjustments, the updated diadem, new emotes and mounts, and new gear we'll be obtaining this time around. So first off, the gear. The gear's looking pretty sick in some areas. I am absolutely loving the aiming and casting gear, as well as the weapons. Like, holy snap. They really just freaking gave the machinist a fucking crossbow. Like, holy shit. They finally fucking gave them a crossbow, and it looks absolutely badass. Like, there's absolutely no way I am not going to grind for that shit. They need to implement more weapons like that. I swear, man. And as far as the new contest winner rage gear, I'm excited to know that we'll finally be getting this piece of gear, as I really love the design of both genders, and even more so, I'm excited on the fact that we will be getting other gear sets on the other jobs that will be based on said design. I really wish that this gear set could be glamour gear instead of it being like full 80 gear, because I have alts and they're nowhere near where Ezekiel is right now. It would be very nice, as we all know, when it comes to these contest gears, I'm pretty sure the majority of us really want them to just be glamour. That is most likely what we will be using them for and nothing more, as glamour is true endgame. That beeth the truth. Other than that, we learn of the job adjustments, which honestly weren't really delved upon entirely. They didn't really have much that they plan on adjusting. The only one that they spoken about to a T is Red Mage, which had gotten a great number of potency buff due to the quote-unquote lacking in damage when compared to other casters, which I must say is very understandable. Honestly, I find that to be quite an understatement, and I really am glad that they'll be getting this significant buff and getting that little touch up in the long run. Another thing that I can appreciate is the fact that Summoner will be getting his dot damage toned down a bit, as that damage over Black Mage? Nah, I'm sorry. Something about that ain't right. And I'm gonna need you guys to calm the hell down. You're already doing enough damage as it is, and you have the ability to raise. There's absolutely no reason to be doing more damage than my fellow black mages. Nuh-uh. Gonna say right now, you had your time to shine, but it's time for the black mage to yet again reign supreme. But joking aside, as far as other jobs go, Samurai isn't really getting much of anything big. Just a UI adjustment or update where the meditation stacks will be a part of our job gauge. Will be nice to see the update, although I don't exactly use the gauge. I more so use simple mode, so yeah. Lastly, we hear warriors will also be getting some adjustment, only minor. It's minor though, no, nothing too grand. And that's pretty much about it for PvE. As far as PvP though, they got quite a good deal of some stuff going on there. I don't really have much to say on the subject other than the fact that there will be some nerfs to Dancer, as they are dealing quite a lot, so they're gonna be going down a peg. But other than that, as I really don't normally play PvP as much as I would like to even put my thoughts, because I don't really have many friends to play PvP with in said content. Moving along, finishing up on things here. I'm interested in the direction they're going for the story bit for the Qatari gathering quests, as it is said you'll be able to make a slight decision that will overall split the history of the tribe, if I remember correctly, which again intrigues me. Just not as much as the fact that we're gonna flipping get the Great Serpent in a barrel as a mount. I literally got no words for what I witnessed during that moment. And the same includes Dalmel mount, which, speaking of the Dalmel mount, that mount is going to be coming from the newly updated diadem that is connected to the Ishgardian Restoration. It is a reward that you'll be able to obtain along with the newly added eating emote, which was also showcased. And I gotta say, about time. Though it kind of makes me think on why the beverage emote couldn't have also been added in the same way. And the only answer I can think of is money. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, regardless, we finally got the eating emote we wanted. That's all I can really say on the matter. But one other thing that I will say is, what the fuck is going on with the fact that gatherers are now pulling out fucking laser cannons? Like, seriously, what the hell did I witness? They literally, the hell's going on with the Aethromatic Auger? They literally just flat out pulled out a laser cannon out of nowhere and destroyed the ever-living shit out of everything in its path just to collect materials. Good God, I am gonna be having some fun during this patch, I swear. But all I can say here is that if Machinist does not get that as a skill in 6.0, I am literally going to flip my shit. I can't even with this, guys. I literally can't even with this. Getting back to the topic at hand, the only things left I want to put my thoughts on is the new sky tools, which are looking elegant as hell. The saw most especially. And the feature that is the umbrella. And that is literally not a joke. They full on added a feature to use umbrellas. Like, that thing has menus, options, and shit for umbrellas. Final Fantasy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. I can't help but be baffled with this game, I swear. All I can say to this shit, all I can say to you is that if they don't make this amount, considering how it is literally built off of the data of amount, I'm going to flip my shit even further, because they're literally this close to making a Mary Poppins reference just with this feature alone. And if they don't make this amount to where I can fly, I swear, please, I need this to happen. Please make this happen. You need to make this happen at some point, because I need to fly around while shouting out, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!" out in the field. So help me God, I need this to happen. Please make my dreams come true. Lord help me. Anyway, back to the Sky Steel content. I'm liking what I'm hearing with what we know about these tools and how they'll be treated, crafting and gathering wise, as that's what's essentially what you need to do in order to get the tool itself. Simple, straight to the point. And I like that. It's too bad that they won't be as powerful as the fully melded crafted tools just yet. But they will get there soon enough. They will get there soon enough. I honestly can't wait for this, as I always like seeing the luminous tools that many other people have, more so all the crafter and gather achievement tools. They look so beautiful. I never could take the time to farm for them, so having these implemented once they actually get the glow is going to be very nice to have aesthetically. And with that, other than the fact of the Couple of Fortune, the new leap of faith, and enjoying the fact of Yoshi P failing said content being very entertaining, I don't really have much to say for anything else that was showcased. The same be said for the Spirit Bond change, which is a neat feature, and the same be said for ocean fishing. Those are things I'm looking forward to for a simplistic reason. I don't have anything to really like get into in depth when it comes to it. As far as an MMO standpoint, I really enjoy the idea of ocean fishing and the aspect of being able to interact with other people when it comes to it. That's about all I can really say for that matter. It's similar to what I said from my previous discussion video when it came to the past live letter. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say in depth on those topics. So with that, that's about everything I have to say from what I saw from the live letter. It's still saddening that I couldn't get my reaction for the live letter to come out the way I wanted it for everyone to see. I will be looking into getting a new mic to ensure such moments won't happen again. But for now, we only have a few days left to go, and I will be waiting. Well, I am waiting in anticipation for this patch. and will be taking my absolute time enjoying everything they have in store for us. So with that, that's all I got for you. Put some of your thoughts on the comments on what you are looking forward to, and let me know what's up. What exactly is going on? What you have in mind? What were your thoughts at the time? And I shall see you in the next video. Whenever something new comes. You guys have a very nice day, nice night, nice morning, nice afternoon, all that good nonsense. And I shall see you later. Peace out.